I remember growing up with obviously surrounded by a lot of Christians and thinking that everyone was a better Christian than I was, that everyone seemed to experience God more profoundly than I did or could, and that they all seemed to have this answer or this special relationship with God that I just didn't quite think that I measured up to. I didn't feel like I experienced that for myself from what I saw of them, and it kind of led me to feel pretty inadequate and like they must have something that I don't, and I must be doing something wrong. Those feelings of inadequacy and comparing myself with other Christians kind of led me to doubt my own salvation and to wonder if God was really in my life and if I had actually allowed him into my heart. I spent, the majority of my life working really hard to appear a certain way, and it got really exhausting. And I sort of just kind of gave up on it, and I definitely walked away from the Lord for, a pretty significant amount of time, for a few years, and just kind of gave it all up and lived my life how I wanted to. In the midst of my absence from my faith and from the Lord, I got invited by a friend to be a leader at a Young Life camp with high school students. And what I experienced there was unlike anything I'd seen before. Growing up, I saw Christians who never missed a quiet time, or who, never lied, never failed to pray when they needed to. They certainly never doubted God or wondered what the heck he was doing. And these people at Young Life Camp were kind of the opposite of that, and they were honest about it, and they were real, and they struggled with things, and they questioned, and they weren't perfect at all, but in the midst of that imperfection, God was still using them. What I learned about God in my time at camp was that despite my flaws or my imperfections or my insecurities, that he delights in me and that he can use me and wants to use me for his purposes, and that I am worthy of his love because he deems me worthy of his love. And that was a truth that I thought I knew before, but I don't think I accepted really until that time. I became a volunteer Young Life leader, and just recently God has called me into full-time ministry, and I'm on staff with Young Life here in Boise now. Being in full-time ministry doesn't mean I have it all together. God is continuing to work on me, and it's kind of cool to see. I'm really not a big people person. Being around a lot of people can be overwhelming for me, but it's pretty much in my job description to be around a lot of people and to love them a lot. And it's really neat to see God empowering me to do that and to love people, despite how I am or my personality.